Cyprus week. I just really wanted to do a brief introduction of Grace Millie, who is our cultural counsellor at the Cyprus High Commission, and I actually am passing over to him to introduce the play.
It's an immense pleasure to see you all here tonight at Theatro Technis, a beacon of Cypriot culture nestled in the heart of London. On behalf of the Cyprus High Commission, I extend our warmest greetings to everyone attending this evening's performance of the Cypria, a stage reading by the talented Elena Pavli. We are proud to be co-sponsoring this event as it takes place during Cyprus Week, a time dedicated to commemorating 50 years of the European invasion and occupation of Cyprus. This week is not only a remembrance of the trials of IRA face, but also a celebration of the resilience and spirit of the Cypriot people. Through arts and culture, we strive to keep our history alive, share our stories, and foster a deeper understanding of our heritage. The Cypria is an absurd satirical play that brings life to the epic tale of Stasinus, the semi-legendary poet of Cyprus, whose dreams and works have been lost to history. Set against the vibrant backdrop of the 1970s London and ancient Cyprus, this play brilliantly explores themes of cultural erasure and the intergenerational impacts of historical loss. Written and directed by Elena Pavli, the play features a talented cast including Lucy Christopher, Christina Chimarrides, Mark Xenopondos, and Alexia Pavli. Their performances promise to bring both humor and depth to the story, providing an evening filled with thought-provoking moments, laughter, and perhaps a few tears as we journey through past with Stasinus and Christina. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Theatro Technis. Founded by George Hellenic in the 1950s, Theatro Technis has been a pillar of cultural preservation and promotion. Their unwavering support from the Cypriot community in the UK has made events like this possible. By providing a stage for Cypriot voices and stories to be heard, they have been instrumental in keeping our rich heritage alive in the diaspora. Their commitment to fostering cultural exchange and supporting artists is truly commendable. As we gather here tonight, let us remember the importance of our cultural identity and the power of storytelling. May this performance inspire us to cherish our past, understand our present, and work towards a future where our stories continue to be told and celebrated. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to Theatro Technis for your ongoing support and dedication to the Cypriot community. Enjoy the show.
Welcome, dear friends. Welcome. But please beware.
This here tale that we shall elocute is one of ancient truth and modern thought alike.
Though some may be familiar, some unknown, some jovial, sad, and some in between.
Know that through laughter, thought, and tears as well, we shall explore the many tales passed on through time.
Some true, some false, and some uncertain too. We will attempt to not upset the gods.
From this here day to centuries before, the story of Stasinus, friend, forefather, and compatriot, is one of much dispute.
O Galliope, Cleo, and Thalia too, we ask of you to hold us in your heart, and though through time your value never waned,
please join us now
as we try to explain.
Act 1, a dance from 2004 all the way back to 1974. The war and chaos has infiltrated our beloved island. Persistence fills our heart.
From shipping heirs to the descendants of landlocked peasants, like the writer of this here tale,
Our Cypriot spirit perseveres.
Though through song, through dance, through gossip, and Hallelujah alike, we stand unperturbed.
enter the notorious Stella Stylianou.
Order in the court. Quiet, please. Order in the court.
The Cyprus problem, the Cyprus conflict, the Cyprus issue, the Cyprus dispute, the Cyprus question. What is the question? What is the question? A war by any other name is still a war. Bear with me for a moment. Cast your mind back. Imagine.
It's January 1974. Uncle Lefteri had already made his way to London. He was always ahead of the game. And let me tell you, that guy had a great head of hair.
In fact, according to his third wife, Androulla, he turned instantly grey only 3 minutes before he died. Until that moment, Lefteri had a thick black shock of Elvis hair.
My mother told me that Androulla was prone to extended bouts of lying, and that it's likely that she was just sick of dyeing Lefteri's hair from his deathbed. I digress. Cast your mind back to 1974. I was young, 11.
No, I was 12. 12. Well, a lot younger than I am now anyway. Obviously, I was obsessed with music. Pop music, rock and roll, disco, you name it. So naturally, I wanted to get to London. London was the place to be. I was aching to go.
Top of the list was my unwavering desire to get my hands on some proper records.
Things at home were complicated. I was sick of listening to endless stories of how Yaya Bapu walked all the way to the next village to get the water.
I get it. Maybe they didn't have taps in olden times. What did that have to do with me? I wanted to live, goddammit.
And Uncle Lefteri and London sounded like just the place to be.
Stella! Aren't you forgetting something?
What about Stasinus? What about the manuscript?
The papyrus!
Whoa! Oh, hold your horses, relax. I was just getting to it. So, my mother was convinced that Uncle Lefteri had robbed her before he went to London. And after Mum had interrogated the whole village, she had no doubt in her mind that Lefteri was the one who betrayed her. And now, like most things, my mum could have forgiven.
Emphasis on most.
But what Uncle Lefteri had stolen from her was worth more than a spidagi made of solid gold.
Oh no. What did Uncle Lefteri steal?
Tell us, Stella, what terrible act of betrayal did he commit?
Give me a break, I'm getting to it. Uncle Lefteri had taken something so priceless, so significant, that my mother, despite her better judgment, sent me packing to London so I could take back what she told me was rightfully ours.
What was it, Stella?
Tell us!
Enough! Uncle Lefteri took the only tangible thing that my mother had ever really felt meant something to her. Something she had fought tooth and nail to keep her hands on.
And she only had 3 teeth.
It took the only remaining fragment of a poem so seminal, so valuable, that people for centuries had tried to dispute its very existence.
Cypria.
Yes, Cypria, the prequel to the Iliad, written by my ancestor Stasinus. And that battered fragment of papyrus, that manuscript, the scroll that had one of Stasinus' most profound paragraphs scrawled across it, was gone. Gone forever.
Yes, gone. My mother had allegedly done unspeakable things to get her hands on what she believed was rightfully hers. And with one fell swoop, Uncle Lefteri had taken it from her and escaped to London.
Oh, no, Lefteri!
How could you?
Why would you?
Well, he did. And now it was up to me to take back what was rightfully ours. But Uncle Lefteri and London itself had other plans for a girl like me. 1974.
That's right. '74, but it was a year of so much turmoil for so many of us.
Review. Your attention, please. Please do not smoke in the terminal building. Smoking is
And I had no idea that when I boarded that plane for Heathrow, it will be the last time I saw my mother, my chickens, my friends, and my beautiful Ahna.
Stella, tell us, why did you go? What did you do?
What happened when you got there?
Well, I planned to sneak up on Uncle Efteri with a cunning strategy and the assistance of my dodgy cousin Gusta.
Dodgy, I was dodgy.
Uncle Efteri, as per usual, was a few steps ahead of the rest of us.
Stella! Guklamu! Welcome to London. Welcome to the beautiful, world-famous Heathrow Airport. Gusta told me you were arriving today, so I thought I'd come and pick you up.
Damn you, Gusta.
What's wrong? Can't talk of your tongue, huh?
All the English I knew at that point was from watching cartoons on CYBC. But the way Uncle Efteri spoke was unique, and a tad hard to keep up with.
Adegori, I haven't been away that long. Don't you remember your Uncle Efteri?
No. I remember you.
Hey, come on. I know that your mother has filled your head with all sorts of lies about me. But the truth is, your Bapu, my father, gave the papyrus to me. Your mother took it from me after an ill-advised game of tavern. After plying me with so much zivania that no teenager should ever get their hands on.
Oh, really?
Yes indeed. Come on, hurry up. You're too slow. Let's get up. Give me those bags. Let's go up those apples and pears before rush hour.
Okay.
Hey, well, you got in here anyway. Better, it's so bloody heavy.
My mum gave me some halloumia to give everyone. The ones in the blue bag are a bit old. She told me to give those to you.
My cheeky sister, always thinking of her brother Lefteri.
Where are we going? Ubamen here.
A beautiful place. They call it Turnpike Lane. You've never seen trees so green. And the pigeons, ooh, they have beautiful fat pigeons here in the city. They're everywhere.
Thank you, Uncle Efteri.
Oh, you don't need to thank me yet, Stella. You know, I'm going to put you to work straight away.
Oh, okay, that's it.
I'm going to make you an offer you can't reuse.
Well, what is it?
Haven't you seen The Godfather?
Who's Godfather?
Ooh, it's a film. The best film I've ever seen. It came to the cinema 2 years ago. I watch it every night before I go to sleep on something they call a video cassette. Your cousin Kosa, he made it for me, but he calls it a bootleg. His English is very, very bad. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Anyway, in this family, in the Godfather, the family is Italian, but they look Greek. To be honest with you, I think this actor, Al Pacino, is a Cypriot. He looks like a Cypriot. His name should be maybe Al Pacino. And somebody accidentally took away the U. Maybe that's what happened. But the best one is Marlon Brando. Yeah, I'm gonna make you an offer. You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding, you say, Godfather.
My mum told me that you were supposed to be my godfather, but that you forgot to come to the church that day because you were busy doing the
You're correct. I was very busy to come to the church that day. I had to walk all the way to Famagusta just to tell a woman I don't love her anymore.
That seems reasonable.
They called her Missy Lou, but she was a miserable Lou.
Lefteri, what's so happy to see you?
Wait, you better calm down. I thought you better hear it from the donkey's mouth. I'm sorry, but I don't love you anymore. I'm breaking up with you.
Why are you breaking up with me?
Well, I'm sorry. I'm actually not sorry. You're an overreactor. And your overreacting probably has something to do with the whole me not loving you anymore type of thing. That's it.
That's terrible.
What? Hush.
Hey, no, that's what I call good old-fashioned manners.
So that's why the three stinky pickle wife had to christen me?
Huh? Oh, I'm so sorry, Stella. I am your rightful godfather. This is perfect. I owe you a christening present. Let me buy you a nice warm coat, eh? And you're going to need a hat made of wool.
Wool?
Yeah, yeah. I tell you, because although the English are known throughout the globe for their open hearts and warm personality, the weather here, man, is very, very cold.
Well, thanks, I guess.
Hey, you don't have to thank me, man, we're family. And a man who doesn't look after his family is no man. Everybody, put this guy over your head, and it's raining outside.
Leave Stella and Uncle Eleftheri aside for a moment.
Cast your minds back to the late 7th century BC.
Imagine you're in Cyprus, where we lay our scene.
Act 2, enter Aphrodite, and goddess of... Oh, you know, anyway.
Enter Stasinus, the much disputed semi-legendary ancient poet of Cyprus.
Really? Semi-legendary? Hey, is that really necessary?
Sorry, Stasinus.
According to several conflicting theses
Academic dissertations.
and miscellaneous research papers in several languages,
Hey, semi-legendary is really the best we can do at this moment.
You'd think I'd be used to it by now, but it still stings.
I'm not sure I like the phrase, Paris built his ships at Aphrodite's suggestion. I feel like, worst case scenario, I could be blamed for the entire Trojan War. I mean, you know those guys like to blame women for, well, pretty much everything. Exactly. Do we really need to add fuel to the fire?
I mean, I think it sounds good. I mean, according to you, the war was kind of your suggestion.
Well, sure, in a roundabout kind of way.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to give credit where credit's due, Aphrodite.
Well, I appreciate that. Of course I do. It's just, on the one hand, they deify me, and on the other, they question my intentions. I mean, why can't they just let me be? I'm just a simple goddess born of the ocean's foam, dancing betwixt this realm and the next, just trying to spread love and joy.
I know.
Do you? I mean, I'm not saying you don't empathise, but you don't really know what it's like.
Point is here. Look, Calliope says the same thing. On the one hand, she has to deal with all the pressure of being her father's #1 muse, which is awkward, you know.
Right, yeah.
But on the other hand, she constantly has to justify herself and prove every single suggestion she makes.
Sounds like it's getting serious.
I guess it is.
Oh, come on, I want details.
Really?
Of course. Hello? I mean, love and relationships are kind of my area of expertise.
Well, honestly, I really want to marry her. But there's this whole difficult situation with her dowry. I mean, we all know Horos is an eccentric guy. He's wildly talented, without a doubt. But the guy is just terrible with money. I mean, he can't take a black about to save his life. Every time he gets paid for a poem, he just blows it all on stocks of papyrus and sweet honey wine.
I blame Dionysus. That guy's a real piece of work.
And the ridiculous thing is, I mean, I don't even care about the dowry. I love her with all my heart. And I just want to marry her. But she's kind of traditional that way, you know? She feels that if Omeros doesn't pay later on a dowry, then it will come up in arguments further down the line.
Arguments further down the line, how so?
You know, regular everyday stuff like, oh, Stasinus, can you please wash the dishes? And then I might come back with something like, well, why should I have to wash the dishes when your father didn't pay me a dowry? You know, that kind of thing.
That does sound like something you would say.
Does?
You can be rather petty at times.
Petty? When?
At times, only at times.
Okay.
Especially when you're stressed out and on a deadline. I'm just being honest.
You're right. You're right. And I know you're right.
But I have an idea.
Well, I'm all ears. I can take all the help I can get.
So this epic poem of yours.
Cypria.
Yeah, that's it, Cypria. In my not so humble opinion, I think it's a lot better than the rest of your work.
What's wrong with the rest of my work?
Nothing. Cypria's just more sophisticated, more romantic.
But there's so much more I want to do with it. You know, I really want to build up the narrative. Really build the suspense right up until the trial.
And you will. But what I'm saying is, I think you could really gain Omenos' respect with this one.
You don't think he respects me?
No.
I'm listening.
If you somehow convince Omenos that he's inspired you to become a better writer,
But he hasn't.
do you want to marry Galliopi or not?
Of course I do.
Then please, just take my advice.
Please.
If you somehow convince Omenos that he's the one that inspired Cypria,
Yes.
you could give him some kind of a co-writer credit, and then
what?
Then you can suggest that Cypria is the only dowry he needs to lay down.
Whoa, wait.
Yes.
So let me get this straight. I give almost partial credit for my work
Yes.
when he's literally had nothing to do with it, so he can then give it back to me as dowry for Calliope's hand in marriage.
Yes,
That makes little to no sense.
I know. Love can make you do crazy things.
I mean, it's a ridiculous suggestion.
Do you really truly love her?
I really do.
Then I think you've just got to take a chance on love and go for it.
Stasinus, wait!
Stop!
Don't do it! Don't listen to Aphrodite's highfalutin romantic ideas.
What he cares about is love. What about your work?
What about your literary standing throughout the ages?
Your work could transcend time and space, but love can vanish in an instant.
Who asked your opinion anyway?
Lots of people. Zeus, have you heard of him?
I'm so confused. I mean, on the one hand, I really love him. But do you really think that my writing can transcend time and space?
Yes! Yes, we do!
You could be a legend in your own right, Stasinus.
You've got great potential.
You could be the greatest poet of all Cyprus. A poet for the ages.
Don't listen to them, my friend. They don't know the first thing about true love. I practically invented it.
I need a day or two to think about this.
You're not the only handsome young poet in the land. What makes you think Galliopi's going to hang around a week for you to get your act together?
Just sleep all the time. I mean, you make it sound so easy, Aphrodite, but it isn't.
It is simple. Are you really going to prioritize words on papyrus over your one true love?
Well, when you put it like that.
Love is all you need. All you need is love.
I got nothing. You?
No.
Oh, she's good.
You're right, but I'll head over to Omenos now and make him an offer he hopefully won't refuse.
And so it was said.
So it was written.
And so it was.
Oh,
Stasinus,
Blinded by his one true love, Galliope.
Galliope,
sweet Stasinus.
taker of ill advice.
Worship of Aphrodite.
Why? Oh, why did you not at least take a couple of days to think about it?
Beware mere mortals. Always take a couple of days to think about it.
Whatever you may be.
And always remember,
Never ever forget.
though our dear Stasinus was happy with Galliope,
For many suns and many moons.
She ultimately dumped him for Apollo.
and was it worth it? The gift of impermanent love in place of global literary canonization?
Was Galliope's love worth more than the respect of his peers?
No. To be reduced forever throughout the ages as merely a semi-legendary, when the words of the Cypria poured out from his very soul.
When it was he who came up with the genesis of the Iliad, only to have his work minimized as a lousy postmodern sequel?
No, Stasinus! Why, Stasinus? Oh, how your descendants will suffer the consequences of your haphazard, heart-bound choices.
We did the best we could.
forward now. Allow us, if you will.
From ancient times to 1970s London. Act 3.
Enter Stella Stylianou.
Uncle Eleftheri, despite his many faults, and trust me, he had many faults, soon became the only real family that I had in the world. When I left Cyprus in January 1974, I was just a young girl, ready for adventure, doing exactly what my mum told me to do. My sole task was to take back Stasinus' scroll from Uncle Eleftheri and to return back to Cyprus immediately, as my mum put it, before I turned into an aggressor and forgot all about her.
Before too long, and after several viewings of The Godfather, which I loved just as much as Uncle Eleftheri told me I would, my uncle confessed that he had sold the papyrus to a man named Robert Smirk, who worked at a place called the British Museum.
Robert Smirk, pleasure to make your acquaintance. I just adore Cyprus. The Kupepia, the Moussaka, the Rembetico, the artifacts, the people.
Uncle Eleftheri told me that he had a difficult time finding work when he first got to London, and that his chance meeting with Mr. Smirk at an underground poker game in Soho must have been arranged by the courts. He begged me not to tell my mother what he'd done and promised that once he'd earned enough money, he'd go back and find Robert Smirk and pay him 2 or 3 times what he'd paid and sold Stasinus' papyrus for in the first place. And I believed him. Yeah. My Uncle Eleftheri was far from perfect, but he was a man of his word. When he told me that he'd get that papyrus back by any means necessary,
When he told me that he'd make Robert Smirk an offer he couldn't refuse, I had no reason to doubt him. Only there was a catch, a problem, you might say. The man who claimed to be Mr. Robert Smirk from the British Museum was none other than the actor and part-time gangster, John Bindon.
It's true, innit? Bloke's got to do what bloke's got to do, innit?
Truth is, Bindon wasn't all that bad. He wound up feeling rather guilty for tricking my uncle. Unfortunately, according to Bindon, a Greek shipping magnate by the name of Aristotle Onassis had snapped up the papyrus for a hefty sum.
Name a price. Any price. You want money? A boat? Access to some of the best saganaki this side of the Mediterranean?
You see, when Bindon tracked down this Onassis, and I really believe that he did, Onassis claimed to have no idea what he was harping on about.
I have no idea what you're harping on. Get away from me, Mr. P. I have friends in very low places willing to commit high crimes, if you know what I mean.
So Uncle Eleftheri was back to square one.
To tell you the truth, if there was a square before square one, that's where I would be.
he refused to let me go back to Cyprus empty-handed and quickly convinced my mum to let me stay in London while he had to go tracking down the Onassis through some Cypriot sailors he knew that made their way to Athens.
After another dead end, by the time July came round, I had all but lost hope of finding this Onassis or the papyrus. I was trying my hand at making counterfeit halloumi cheese.
I was only a kid, but I accompanied my uncle to every deli and restaurant this side of the Thames, pretending to be his daughter, charming customers as they bought buckets of what was mostly baking soda, mixed with vegetable stock, and just discount gelatin.
Oh, come on, Ade, come on, Eleftheri. Enough of these halloumi malagias of yours. And last week, my Kenyatta was sick for a week after eating your halloumi. I could have made it better myself.
Ade, Chrisostomou, that was last week. I've improved my sindagi. Ade, kumpare, please buy a bucket. How else am I going to pay for the little one's tap dance classes, huh?
Tap dance classes? Are you going to?
Category. Show him the elephant dance. I think you one.
Halloumi became the centre of my life, the bread to my butter, the rice to my gimaglia.
Hey, you're welcome.
Everyone in North London called me Halloumi girl, and that's what I was. Because Uncle Efteri insisted on keeping the halloumi in the back of his rusty Volvo.
I love that bloody car.
And so any time we were invited to a wedding or a christening, we both arrived stinking of cheap halloumi.
Yeah, it was an acquired smell, and it wasn't cheap. But my prices were always very reasonable.
We were selling our halloumi to a baker up in Arnold's Grove when we got news of the invasion.
I never got a chance to speak to my mother again.
Ides did my mum.
She was one of the first to go missing.
Have you seen my mother?
Now that I'm older, I have a pretty clear idea of what must have happened to them
Who said my mum?
and to all the others. But I don't want to talk about it.
I don't think I'll ever want to talk about it. What happened to my mum could have happened to me, but it didn't.
For some reason, I'm still here to tell my tale. And every night before I pray, before I close my eyes, and before I sink into my pillow, and the warm hug of my bed, I thank my ancestor Stasinus for writing a poem so profound, so important, that my mother sent me all the way to London to retrieve it.
They saved my life. And for as long as I live, I'll never give up the chance to set my eyes on the Cypria that saved me. But once again, I digress. 1974.
There were wonderful things ahead of us. Fast forward to
1977, Jubilee celebration.
The first commercial flight, Concorde.
The first Apple II computers go on sale.
Thanks for that. 1977. I was now 15 years old, and Saturday Night Fever was about to hit our screens. But this time I was the crazed fan, dragging Uncle Efteri to the Odeon so I could sneak in and watch it just one more time. I just love to watch him dance.
Speaking of Uncle Efteri, well, just to say, he had set me up for life. Even if I didn't know it back then, the halloumi business was booming. And even if people occasionally complained about the effects of our less than exquisite product, by the time it was my 16th birthday, we had expanded to Manchester, then Scotland, Wales and Scunthorpe. In our own unorthodox way, we were thriving.
Rewind a moment, if you will. For back in the late 7th century BCE, our dear Stasinus, much like Sisyphus before him, has a major hill to climb.
A mountain to mount.
The legendary poet to convince.
Act 4. Enter Stasinus and Androulla.
I wish I had my gallons with me exploring so easily today.
Here we go again.
she clothed herself with garments which the Graces and hours had made for her, and dyed in flowers of spring, such flowers as the seasons wear in crocus and hyacinth.
When you say crocus and hyacinth, what do you mean exactly?
Done yet, Eve, almost in the flow. Wait a minute. So, in such perfumed garments as Aphrodite, clothed in all seasons, something. Then the laughter-loving Aphrodite and her hand.
How do I say this? It does go on a bit.
You don't like it?
Of course I like it, but you always do this. Every time you have something important to get done, you distract yourself with poetry.
You're right. I know you're right. I'm just so nervous.
There's no need to be.
How can I not be nervous? He's the best. He's literally the best poet in Greece. And I'm asking you for the one thing he holds more dear than his poetry.
How do I put this? Snap out of it. It took 3 very treacherous boat rides from Cyprus to get us here, not to mention the asylum that I dread to think about repaying. So just, please, get a hold of yourself.
Okay.
Repeat after me. I am Stasinus.
I am Stasinus.
It's not a question, at least try to sound sure of yourself.
Okay.
I am Stasinus, the greatest of all the Cypriot poets.
I am Stasinus, the greatest of all Cypriot poets? Wait. Where do you think I rank? I mean, say, compared to the Greeks?
Just repeat what I'm saying, okay?
Okay.
I am Stasinus, and I love Calliope.
I really do.
I said repeat.
Sorry. I love Calliope.
I give you here this poem that I wrote for you to share with me, so that I may ask of you your daughter's hand in marriage.
I give you here this poem that I wrote for you, so that I may share it with you, so that I may ask of you your daughter's hand in marriage.
Great! You've got this.
Thank you.
Now go in there, just talk to them now. You're ready.
Hold on, sir. It's been too long.
What did you do?
Nothing, I just,
What is it? You want my drink?
Oh, no. I just want to talk to you, just for a moment of your time.
Time? What is time? There's no time. I have no time. I have no idea how old I am. Do you know how old I am?
I don't, sir. No, I don't.
God damn it! I forgot to keep count.
Well, there's no time like the present. As Pythagoras' brother once said, time is as time does, until it is undone.
Look at my beard. I'm old. Don't I look old to you? Where's my drink?
I'm pretty certain you put it down there, sir.
Sir? Don't call me sir. That's my father. But he's dead. Medusa's snakes killed him. Terrible thing. I'm old, but I'm still alive.
I was just wondering.
Wait a minute. Don't I know you?
I hope so, yes, sir.
Don't call me sir. Call me Homer or so, homo. What do I care? Where's my goddamn drink?
Pretty certain you put it down there, sir.
Excellent. Now, where were we?
Well, Mr. Holmes, the reason I came here today was to ask you a very important question.
Why do I drink so much?
No. That's not the question, though. It may be of some concern further down the line.
To keep snakes at bay. To keep the demons away. Wait a minute. That rhymes. Should I write it down? Is it good?
No, not really. Look, the question I
Who
want
took
to
my
ask you...
papyrus? Hey, that damn thief. Odysseus, you sad sack bastard!
Mr. Horace Homer, please, if I could just have a moment of your time. Look, I just want to ask you, would you, in exchange for your daughter Calliope's hand in marriage?
You want to marry my daughter?
Yes, I do.
Which one?
Calliope, the one I'm in love with.
Oh. Okay. But I haven't got a dowry. I'm waiting on some money, you see. My publisher's a real pest of envy. He thinks he's some kind of genius just because he's figured out how to glue paper together.
Look, don't worry about that. You see, you've inspired me for so many years now.
Okay? I have.
Yes, Honoris, you have, of course you have. My poem, the Cypria, you inspired me so much.
I did.
Yes.
I did.
Yes, you inspired me so much. It's as though you wrote it.
I wrote it.
Well, it's as though you wrote it.
And you want to marry Calliope?
I do.
You got a copy of this poem I wrote?
Ah. Well, sure. Yeah. Well, please, bear in mind, this is just a first job. Actually, on the way here, I came up with some great new stuff.
This is pretty good. Well done, me.
So, what do you think?
This is really good. Inspiring even. It's kind of giving me an idea. This could be a real good lead up to a piece I'm toying around with about the Trojan War. Working title, The Iliad. Who am I kidding? No one's going to remember a title like that.
I mean, what do you think about me and Calliope?
Oh, go for it. Ask her, why not? She's not getting any younger, that's for sure. Jesus! I wrote a new poem about Cyprus or something. Yeah, you know, that little funny island. And what have you written lately, eh? Not bloody much, you bastard!
I think that went pretty well. Allow us to guide you into the future. 2004.
Stella's descent into the dark depths of Uncle Lefterian's counterfeit Androulla business, though perhaps inevitable,
To take its toll on the once sweet and innocent girl, as she now finds herself in this here Cyprus school.
Oh, poor Stella! What have you done? Wanted by the British authorities on fake calumny charges, Stella had little choice but to flee to her once beloved Cyprus.
But will she escape the wrath of time?
Will she persevere?
Act 5! Enter Stella Stylianou!
Quiet! Orders! Stella Stylianou! Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth?
Yeah. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me Zeus. Yeah, you heard of him? Yeah, thought so. Now can we get on with it? Was that a nil or not? Look, look, if what you really want is to hear about the whys and the wherefores, then what I have to say might not be of interest to you after all. But if you really want to know the truth, then you put up your braga and get ready. Needless to say, I've done some bad things. Yeah. Okay, some very bad things. But I really don't think that fake calumny is what this is all about. And let's get real at it. It's not like I did all of these things out of the blue. It was a sort of supply and demand type of situation, and I supplied to the people's demands. And I've got to tell you, for fake calumny, it was pretty good. I mean, have you tasted the crap that they're selling nowadays? But you can't honestly tell me that the charges I'm facing today have anything to do with the distribution of that fake, delicious salty cheese. The British authorities have been out to get me since before I could speak proper English.
Order, order!
Oh, I just never thought I'd see the day that the Cypriot authorities, my own people, would turn against me. I'm not ashamed to say I got into the family business, dodgy as it was, on account of my family needing money, and I left Cyprus for London at the age of 12 with nothing but a couple of sakules full of dreams, and unfortunately dreams don't pay the rent. We're talking back in the day here, my mama's brother. For the purpose of this conversation, we will call him Lefty, because that was his name. Anyway, I looked up to him at first, but from here in Larnaca, all the way to Turnpike Lane, if there was a shady deal going on, you could bet your last little penny that Uncle Lefty had the hand in it. Look! I'm proud of who I am. I've done things other people wouldn't even have the guts to think about. And you can sit there and judge me for as long as you have the time to sit and the time to judge. But you don't know me and you don't know my life. I'm proud of where I came from, for better or worse. Look, it's not like ever since I was a little girl, I always dreamt of starting up a counterfeit and Louis business. But you know, fishmongers, they go into the fishing industry, and you know, people that are dentists, they go into the dental industry, and most rich kids, well, most rich kids have rich parents, so anyway, that's how come they are rich. It doesn't take a genius to figure out how and why I got into the things that I did, and how I came to be very bloody good at them, if I say so myself. Here's the thing. From as far back as I can remember, we're talking baby teeth here, as far back as I can remember, from Bafos to Timbuktu, every Cypriot word that I knew my family was so messed up. And I'll admit it, we had a knack of seeking out the monk, just as the monk had ways of finding us. And it all comes back to Stasinus. Yeah. My great-great-great-grandfather, a few million times removed. Yeah, give or take a million. Stasinus. Isto de abima da guerras. Chegava a ser exílio. There was a time when the countless tribes of men, although wide disturbed, oppressed the surface of the deep-bosomed earth, and Zeus saw it and had pity, and in his wise heart resolved to relieve the all-nurturing earth of men by causing the great struggle of the Ilian War. Order! Stasinus! He wrote that. Yes, Stasinus. You still don't believe me, huh? No. No. Nothing but our family legacy constantly thrown into question. We're talking ancient intergenerational trauma here. It's why Uncle Lefty and the rest of the family had no choice but to turn to a life of crime and rebellion. Vamos a decir. And can you even imagine how Stasinus felt? Imagine creating one of the world's seminal pieces of literature Probably even came up with the word seminal, for all we know. Yeah? And only to be questioned and doubted until the end of time by a bunch of academics who probably couldn't even find Cyprus on a map.
Order!
As you already know, my name is Stella Stylianou, and why you may consider this testimony to be a confession of sorts. I mean, yes, I know that I did make fake hallelujah, and I distributed fake hallelujah, and I profited from the sale of the fake hallelujah, and I even ate a couple of the fake hallelujah myself, and I'm still here to tell the tale. And before you ask, no, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. But as one of the 3 remaining descendants of Stasinus, the semi-legendary lost poet of Cyprus, I consider myself a living Cypriot artifact. And I see no recourse but to seek a pardon on those grounds, Your Honour, or demand to be placed in the British Museum alongside all the other crap that they stole. Furthermore, I shall seek reparations, not limited to but including the piece of rock that my ancestor Stasinus carved his poem into. Or was it some kind of papyrus? We don't know. Just said it. A poem so profound, so exquisite, that Blagonas himself has been quoted to have quoted it. Of Zeus, the author and creator of all these things, you will not tell. For where there is fear, there is also shame. Well, I leave you with this epilogos. I'm not afraid, and I feel no shame. And I couldn't have said it that myself. I rest my case.
Friends, Cypriots.
Cypriot friends!
An epilogue of sorts.
Though this is not the end of this here tale.
We shall not leave you waiting anymore.
But if you care about what next occurred,
In this here courtroom, where we will conclude,
Fret not, dear Stella did in fact triumph.
For though she did commit some cardinal sins,
With fake hallelujah, lies, and other such.
her heart and fact, it was forever true.
and if you can but wait till the next time,
these Cyclic poets choose to share their rhyme,
The fate of our dear Stella will unfold.
but until then, we'll buy but what we're sold.
And when you're next near the great Russell Street,
Just go in and give yourself a treat.
And maybe Stella will be on display.
Alongside elegant marbles, hieroglyphs, and hay.